16, 1951 was a red letter day in the history of the Naga freedom struggle when the Naga Plebiscite was conducted to reaffirm the declaration of the Naga Independence Day that was announced before the world on 14 August 1947. It was the day the Naga portrayed himself loud and clear with their home impression in which 99.9% of the Nagas voted for sovereign Naga nation. This was the occasion of an episode which is of more than making a striking statement on Naga independence. It was the most powerful symbol of Naga people in alienable right for sovereignty. Not only does it represent the virtue of being Naga, it also ignited the flame of irreversible political identity of the Naga as the sovereign nation. My dear countrymen, let the historical truth be told why the Nagas, under the banner of Naga National Council, took a crucial step to conduct Naga Plebiscite. Let us recollect the words of NLTV President Nscn-Im on the Naga Plebiscite Day. I quote, "We are here today to reaffirm the stand of our Naga nation that we do not need India and we do not want her. We are here today to approve to India and to the world that Nagaland is united and that our nation aspires the same conviction to continue to be independent as a distinct nation as we have already been the sovereign national state of the Naga." My dear countrymen, please listen to me very patiently as I give you a brief background story of the Naga as a nation and the declaration of the Naga independence on August 14, 1947. Let it be known that Nagas came into existence as a free nation since time immemorial, without any pressure from the outside world. It takes us to the fact that the origins of political geography lie in the origins of human geography itself. This means, from the very beginning, Nagas are politically a distinct nation with each state as a republic with sovereign authority. Naturally, Nagas were against any kind of intrusion, incursion, and domination over their sovereign right. Accordingly, Nagas are seriously guarded against the misadventure of allied forces like the Suns from the east and the Ahoms from the west. When the British intruded into the Naga territory, he went through horrible time in the hands of the ferocious ultimate builders. This is no less the soul of Naga nationalism or the law of their mother country. No doubt, it sent shockwave against the forces that dared to test the nerve of the Nagas. Importantly, the Naga people's allegiance to the Naga nationhood is the dynamic of the Naga culture. Needless to say, the passion for political freedom and independence are intrinsically linked to this, have been the motivation factor that drives the Naga political movement. With the passage of time, the previous ruler who had established their authority over the small Naga area known as Naga Hill district in 1879 become more conscious of the Naga's political right and the concern for future political status. He could follow the burning desire of the Naga, who did not want their national identity to be buried under the shadow of the British India or the British Burma. Thus, when Sir J.H. Hodon, a British officer, convinced a meeting with the Naga Club to ascertain their wishes after the departure of the British, the Nagas expressed their desire to be left alone, just as the British found them at first. When Simon Commission visited Burma on January 10, 1929, the Naga Club exhibited remarkable political maturity by coming up with more organized system in their political approach toward their stand. He submitted a memorandum demanding that the Naga be left alone to decide their own future and their political status be reverted to the independence he enjoyed before the British came. The memorandum concluded, I quote, "We pray that we should not be trusted on the mercy of the people who could never have conquered us himself and to whom we were never subjected, but to leave us alone to determine ourselves as ancient time." Ironically, things were not moving as desired by the Naga, as the British government and the British India government saw no sign of withdrawing their hold on the Naga. This compelled the Nagas to organize things out under the banner of Naga National Council (NLTV) and assert their right in a manner that carried the weight of authority and credibility. Henceforth, NNC occupied the center stage to lead the Naga political movement. In the first place, the NNC submitted a memorandum to the British government and the British Indian government on February 20, 1947, with the request for interim government for themselves and proposed a protected state status, with India as the guardian power for an interim period of 10 years, at the end of which the Nagas would be left to decide their political future. The copy of the memorandum was sent to Clement Attlee, the Prime Minister of England, Lord Simon, member of the House of Lords, and Winston Churchill. Part of the cover letter to Lord Simon, the House of Lord read, I quote, "No argument is needed to show that Nagas are a separate people with their own custom, tradition, and culture, and to say that the British government has decided to hand over to the Indian hands complete authority for governing over Nagaland is inconsistent with the policy of administration hitherto followed in this field, and in violation of implied but clear pledge with the past year, without even asking the opinion of the Nagas, is not only unjust but immoral. Nevertheless, the Nagas decided to put up a good fight when it became very clear that the overriding geopolitics of the Indian government was simply to make the Nagas as part of the Indian Union. This was made known when the Indian Constituent Assembly was established in 1946. The Aliba indeed The first NNC president was made a part of the subcommittee. When this subcommittee met in Shillong over the issue of training India, Nagas refused to put down under any pressure and proudly took this stand, not go along with the other political steps and walk away with the comment, God, we the Nagas cannot sign our name to be under India. We do not agree with it and we resign. Not willing to let his name go down in the history as having let down the Nagas. Aliba Indi means new bird as he plainly told the subcommittee, I cannot return to my people as a traitor. Following the failure of the Shillong meeting of the subcommittee, the very next year, the subcommittee visited Kohima in May 1947 to pursue the Nagas to join the Indian Union. At this juncture, NNC became more assertive and stated that Nagas are willing to cooperate with India only under 10 years interim period with freedom to terminate any agreement entered with the government of India after 10 years. NNC was old enough to make known the legitimate stand of the Naga, that they have their own constitution and they would never go down to the subscribe or surrender to the constitution of any country under any circumstances, come what may. It was under the heat of this movement that the government of India sent Sir Akbar Hyderabad, the governor of Assam, to Kohima on 27 June 1947 to meet the NNC leaders to resolve the deadlock. There was 3 days of heated consultation and finally agreement was reached known as 9-point agreement or hybrid agreement. It was signed by moderate NNC leaders T. Aliba as NNC president and T. Sakri as NNC general secretary and the government of India. However, hardliners and NNC leaders like Azatizo were never optimistic to the 9-point agreement and never believed that India will be sincere enough to implement it. Significantly, NNC was given the official recognition as the sole national political authority of the Naga. What has really built up the confidence of the Nagas was that after 10 years, the Nagas had the liberty to terminate the agreement. However, within few months after the agreement was signed, the Nagas were given a rude shock when the government of India denied that there was such provision in the agreement for the Nagas to terminate the agreement after 10 years and establish for himself as sovereign and independent state and threatened the NNC leader that India could use force against the Naga if he refused to join the Union of India. This ugly turn of development shattered the faith of the Naga on the government of India. However, the NNC hardliners led by Elliot Fizu rushed to Delhi and made things very clear before the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, that Nagas will declare independence on 14 August 1947, no matter what the opposition is from the government. True to his statesmanship, Mahatma Gandhi lent his ears very patiently to the narrative of the NNC leader. He was true enough to tell the Naga delegates that Nagas have every right to be independence if he did not want to join the Indian Union. To make the case very sharp and clear, the Naga delegates took pain to point out the appreciative caring of Sir Akbar Haidari when he threatened to use force against the Nagas if they refused to join Indian Union. Mahatma Gandhi took strong exception to it and responded, "God, Sir Akbar Haidari is wrong. He cannot do that. I will come to the Naga hills. I will ask them to shoot me first before one Naga is shot." Going further, he open-heartedly stated, "Why wait until 14 August? Why not even declare your independence tomorrow?" Unfortunately, the ruling allies in the government of India were determined to use force to bring the Nagas into submission. Unfortunately, tragedy struck as Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated by one fanatic. But in his death, Nagas find inspiration in his path of non-violence and truth. The NLC leaders returned to Kohima, emboldened by the successful meeting with Mahatma Gandhi, and they wasted no time and declared Naga independence on 14 August 1947. The declaration was sent to the King of England, the Government of India, and to the Secretary General of the United Nations, in which it was explicitly mentioned that, I quote, "Nagas will be independent and Nagas do not accept Indian sovereignty, and the right of the people must prevail regardless of size." The government of India remained defiant to deny the desire of the Nagas to be independent and continue to harm its war machinery in the Naga homeland. The policy of aggression against the Nagas began to unfold when the Indian Army started to arrest and imprison Naga political leaders. Even as a Tizo, the president of NSC, and others were thrown into prison in July 1948 while returning from Delhi after meeting Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. NNC, who had pursued a policy of non-violence approach, the Governor General of India, C. Rajagopalachari, on November 28, 1948, to reason out the Naga's political issue. The Governor General assured him, I quote, "India wants to be friendly with you. India does not want to deprive the Nagas of their land. Nagas are at liberty to do as they like, either to become part of India or be separated if it would be best for their interest to be isolated." My countrymen, the most telling act of betrayal against the Nagas came when the government of India committed a breach of agreement in 1949. Govinat Bordogoy, the Chief Minister of Assam, admitted that the government of India no longer hold the 9-point agreement valid and invited the Nagas to join the Union of India. To the Nagas, this is like dropping salt in the wound. Ironically, Nagas rejected the offer outrightly and resorted to taking legitimate steps as the only way to find solution to a fundamental political problem. On January 24, 1950, the NNC informed the government, the United Nations, and those countries that had their embassies in Delhi that Nagas do not accept Indian sovereignty. Finally, to lend legitimacy to our claim as independent nation, as declared on 14 August 1947, NNC took a critical decision to organize a Naga voluntary plebiscite and accordingly informed the government of India on January 1, 1951 in no uncertain terms that there is no going back on plebiscite as situated. The NNC President added his informed the President of India to send their observers to bear witness to the whole process of the plebiscite from beginning to end. The plebiscite was held on May 16, 1951. That shows multitude of people never witnessed in the history of the Nagas at any other point of time. Taking a bold stand, NNC delegate met the Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, on March 11, 1952, to convey the sovereign will of the Naga people for an independent Naga state, as expressed through the Naga Plebiscite. The government of India determined to follow the bona fide standing of the Naga political right when for the shameless act of defiance by imposing Indian state election on the Naga. When the Nagas boycotted both the 1952 and 1957 general election, Indian used violence that attacked the human dignity of the Naga. During the Indo-Naga political dialogue, NSCN leaders led by Chief Negotiator Ismuiwa spotlighted the declaration of the Naga independence and plebiscite based on solid historical foundation. Ultimately, the government of India accepted the historical truth that the Nagas were in existence with sovereign identity as a nation. Accordingly, two agreements were signed. Number one, Amsterdam Joint Communique of July 11, 1942 that recognized the unique history of the Nagas and political situation. Number two, Framework Agreement of August 3, 2015 that recognized the bona fide status of the Nagas with sovereign rights. My dear countrymen, let the world hear us today. In God's name, we observe the Naga Plebiscite in consonance with the recognized unique history of the Nagas and Framework Agreement after 73 years. This is to put on record, once again, the inalienable right of the Nagas to be a sovereign nation. Thus, the sovereign rights of the Nagas as fluenced on 16 May 1951 will continue to remain imprinted indelibly in the shadows of the Naga, in God who has power and authority over the universe we put our trust.
Nagaland TV, Sob Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Twitter.